What's going on, guys? It's Brandon back here for another BFR. And I gotta say, we probably had our craziest game of the season by so far, meaning that I really don't have a lot of notes. It's really just a lot of goals and penalties, because that's what this game was goals and penalties, and a lot of them. So, game made of the season at Carolina Hurricanes, who are now 7-0-0 after last night's affair. October 29th, 6 p.m. is the time the game started. Likkonen saves 29 out of 35 in the loss. Ronta saves 23 out of 26 in the win. The score is Carolina wins 6-3. The Hawks go to 0-6-2. Shots were 35 to 26 to Carolina. Hits were 35-19 Chicago. Faceoffs were 30-23 Carolina. And on the power play, Chicago went 2 for 8 and Carolina went 1 for 3. And this was Isaac Phillips' first game in the NHL. He's been in Rockford for a while now. So good to see him getting his debut. Looked okay out there, no points, and a penalty, but it looked fine. He replaced Mitchell, and there was still no Kane or Kara or Borgstrom, so they're all still out. And the puck was getting stuck in the ref early. It happened like 3 times in the first 2 minutes. And then McCabe makes a bad play. Lankinen was tested early. But then at 13:48, it's Chicago who opens the scoring. And it's Brandon Hagel, his first of the season, from Gustafsson and Tace, making 1-0. So at this point, I'm like, okay, maybe we can upset Carolina here. And then at 12:50, about less than a minute later, it's a Carolina goal from Tony DeAngelo himself, his second of the year from Trocheck to make it 1-1. And then Lankinen had no chance on that. Absolute beautiful pass from Trocheck. And D'Angelo buries it. And then 11:05, the Carolina penalty to Brady Shea for high sticking. The power play looked good because at 9:39, it's a Chicago power play goal from Adam Gaudette, his first of the year, from Kurashev and Gustafsson to make it 2-1. That's Kurashev's first point on the year. Gustafsson has these games where he'll just go and score a bunch of points. So Gustafsson having another good game after a good one against, was it Carolina or Detroit that he went pretty good against? Yeah. Let's see. It was a great backhand shot, but yeah. So then at 9:02, it's a Chicago penalty to Carpenter for slashing, which would be killed. Um, the Carolina power play looked very dangerous, and I wanted to make note of that. And then at 6:59, Carolina goal. It's Jordan Stahl, second of the year from Ethan Bear and Slavin, to make it 2-2. And then 25 seconds later, actually no, 17 seconds later, Carolina goal from Derek Stepan, his first of the year, first as a Hurricane, first point as a Hurricane, and it's from Jesper Fost. It's a bad goal. Lankinen should not be giving those up. It just slid it right through, and it's 3-2 Carolina. And then Stahl and Johnson got scrummy. And then at 6:27, there's Carolina penalty to Jesperi Kok. Oh, wait, no. Carolina penalty to Andrei Svechnikov for high sticking, which would be killed. Then at 1:20, Carolina goal from the offer sheeted Jesperi Kotkaniemi to make his second of the year from Aho and Cole to make it 4-2. No chance. It was a phenomenal play. Give credit to that. And then Lorentz made some great moves around the Hawks. And then we go to the second period where at 17:28, Chicago penalty to Phillips for holding. And then at 16:17 on the power play, it's a Carolina goal from Sebastian Aho, his fifth of the year already, from D'Angelo and Teravainen to make it 5-2. Hagel basically tried to block the pass. It came right back to Aho, and then he just buried it. Really no chance for Lankinen on it. The Hawks' defense was awful, as usual. And, let me get back to where I was. At 13:44, then, there's a Carolina goal to Andrei Svechnikov, and it's from Trocheck and D'Angelo. D'Angelo had a good game. Trocheck had a good game. Except for... And Aho had a good game, but still, there was a bit of part that I really don't like Trocheck for anymore. And it gets scrummy. And then, right before the next event, there was a ref had his arm up, and it turned out to be friendly fire between Reese Johnson and Entwistle. And then Kurashev had a chance and he blew a tire. And then Johnson leaves the game. Tyler Johnson got cross-checked from behind. And it's a 10-13. It's a Carolina penalty to Trocheck, who did the cross-checking. Dirty play. He had no way to defend himself, and his head goes right into the back of another player, so his head goes backwards. And he took him a second to get up, and he went right to the locker room. He would not return. So Johnson is now injured, I assume, and we'll see how he is next game today since they play St. Louis today. So we'll see how that goes. Then at 6:31, that penalty would be killed. 6:31, Carolina penalty to Natius, and it's slashing. It would be killed. My bad. It would be killed. Ranta made a good save. It's early in the morning. I woke up about an hour ago, so I'm sorry if I'm a bit daisy. Um, and then at 4:11, Chicago penalty to Gaudette for hooking, which would be killed. Chicago had all the momentum at this point. And then at 1:57, Carolina penalty to Bear for tripping. It was killed, and it's a Carolina breakaway, which would be saved. And then Stepan saves a goal. To break it would have buried it on the power play, but Stepan was there, great defensive play, and the puck goes out of play. And we go to the third. And right before we go to the third, Hagel got shoved into the net at the buzzer, no call. And Hagel then had a breakaway that was stopped right at the start of the third. Then at 16:55, D'Angelo and Johnson have a good fight. This is Reese Johnson now in retaliation for Tyler Johnson's getting injured. 5 minutes each. And then 12:45, there was roughing for Murphy, who laid an absolute amazing hit on Trocheck. Great to see Murphy sticking up for his teammate. And Murphy and Svechnikov each get a roughing minor, and then Svechnikov gets the extra minor, so the Hawks get a power play out of it, and Niederreiter served that penalty. It would be... At 11:52, it's a Chicago power play goal from Alex DeBrincat from Jones and Kubalik. Excellent shot to make it 6-3. Then at 5:25, Carolina penalty to Shea, his second of the game, this time for roughing, which would be killed. 2:39, Carolina penalty to Lorentz for goaltender interference, which would be killed. I mean, the call didn't look like a penalty, so I'm not sure why Lorentz got that. I wrote this down. I don't really know why Lorentz got the penalty. Like he had time to have possession of the puck, and he was trying to put it in, and he called the goalie interference. I thought that was a bad call. And then Raanta makes a good save, and then at 47.9, Khrushchev scores, but it's waved off, and still no goal. Horrible call. They say it's for goaltender interference. I saw Gaudette had his skate wrapped around. He couldn't play his position. He could have simply slid right over. The goaltender interference is one of the stupidest calls in the league, and I'm going to stand by that. I mean, if the goalie gets shoved over and he genuinely can't play his position, by all means, that's goaltender interference. But if he just barely touches him, like the Gallagher goal about a week ago now or more, and then stuff like this where if his skate maybe like barely in his area, and they'll call it goaltender interference. If he can play, if he can physically move, then he can, because he was moving all over the net trying to stop him from going in. So, but Khrushchev had a really good game. He was probably the best player on the Hawks last night. He was creating chances and everything. I wasn't disappointed. This Carolina team is a really good team. And the Hawks get to play St. Louis tonight, which is another really good team. So we're going to see how that's going to go. That video should be coming up tomorrow. Will the Hawks get a win tonight? Probably not. I wouldn't be surprised if they didn't. Probably going to go 0-7-2. If they go 1-6-2, great. If they go 0-6-3, great. But honestly, I'm getting used to the losing, which is something I've not had to do as a Hawks fan, and it sucks. It really does. But that's all I have for you guys today. If you have any questions, comments, leave them down below. Any ideas or thoughts on the game or any previous games or anything on the future, please let me know down in the comments below. I will reply. And that's all I have for you guys today. I'll see you all next time. Have a good day. Goodbye.